Why is building your personal brand so damn hard? It really is so hard, and it's so hard on your ego especially. Part of the reason it is because building your personal brand isn't instant. No matter how hard you try to make it instant, it's not instant. You're going to have to take time to organically, not paid, build your personal brand. And so that means that you have to be putting in the reps, you have to be putting in the time to gain trust with not only the platform, but also the people who you want to have engage with the content that you're putting out there. And no matter how hard you try, no matter how amazing your content is right out of the gate, it's still going to take time to get people to trust you. Now, trusting you means that they trust that you're going to show up regularly. They trust that you have good information that is uniquely yours. And they trust that you are going to give them something of value. There's lots of people who start out building their personal brand and they get scared off by how damn hard it is on their ego because they're expecting big things. They finally got the confidence to get out there and they're expecting big things from the minute they post their first piece of content. And that's not realistic. You have to give yourself at least 90 days to gain some traction because there's lots of people who start and never finish. So there's lots of people who come out of the gate with strong content and then they start falling by the wayside. They run out of things to talk about. They start having their information Swiss cheese the more that they talk about it. So if you're going to be building your personal brand, you have to be hardy. You have to be ready to have people say bad things about your content. You have to be ready to not get the results that you're expecting right out of the gate. You know, if you're expecting a whole bunch of people to like it and then comment on it right out of the gate, they're not going to do that, especially on a platform like LinkedIn. People are very, very careful with what they're putting their name behind. So even giving you a like, which may seem like a simple thing, is a big deal on LinkedIn because that means they're putting the reputation behind you saying that I think as a professional, that you as a professional are doing a good job. Commenting is even more of a leap for people to put their reputation behind you. So you can't expect people to instantly be gushing over what you're putting out there. You have to put in the reps. You have to show up consistently. So that means one piece of video per week and then 1 to 2 other pieces of content per week so that you get 10 posts per month going. So you can recycle those 4 videos that you create into other pieces of content to make up the balance of those 6 other pieces of content to get 10 per month. But you have to be consistent. And you also have to be generous. Now, a lot of people come out and they're like, well, I'm just going to talk about my product or I'm just going to talk about my service or my challenge, and they don't add any value. There's a lot of selling going on, especially on LinkedIn. And so if you're just selling, and you're not actually giving anybody a taste of what you're doing, and I mean actually giving them the good stuff, give them the goods, give them something that they can go back and try for themselves to see, if you actually know what you're talking about. Give them the best tips that you would give to your high-paying clients. Don't be dangling the carrot going, well, just keep watching and eventually I might tell you the secret. That's such an outdated tactic. Instead, you want to get to the point you want to really give people something that they can munch on so that they get to test you out. And what's going to happen is the more that they test you out, they're going to get to a point of complexity where they've tried to do the things that you're suggesting on their own. And then they realize, if I keep going on my own, I'm going to reach a point where I'm going to wreck something. So now they come back to the source of food they've been following. So as far as the mindset goes with building your personal brand, you have to be ready to fully believe in yourself, even if everything around you is saying, don't do it. You're going to have to realize that the fact that you're even putting yourself out there is a big deal for other people. Most people are not going to put themselves out there. Most people are not going to talk about what they do. They're not going to give away their best tips because they are afraid. They're afraid. And so the fact that you are brave enough to put yourself out there, you are brave enough to share your stuff because you know that you know it better than anyone else. You know that anyone who wants to copy what you're doing is going to fall flat on their face because they don't understand the nuances of what you know. So you have to be ready to be super confident in yourself and keep showing up. You have to give yourself 90 days of showing up consistently, of putting out content consistently, of giving away your best tips consistently so that people can really see what you're doing and how you can help them. It's an audition. Your personal brand is an audition. all day long. So you want to give people your best. You wouldn't show up at an audition and be like, well, today I'm not going to try so hard. Do you think you're going to get the part? I don't think so. So you need to show up with your best stuff, the stuff that people pay you the big bucks for. And a lot of people get really afraid of doing that because they think, oh my gosh, someone's going to steal my ideas. People will. That's just the truth of the world. And the thing is, you probably don't have anything new, but you have it new in the way that you think about it, the way that you have pieced together your process. And if someone steals it and copies exactly what you've done, I've had that happen, they're going to get Swiss cheesed when someone interacts with the information and tries to ask them questions because they don't have the same nuances. They don't have the same experience, the expertise that got you to the point of how you can explain things as beautifully as you can. So you're really in a competition with yourself. And you have to be ready to have people potentially say bad things about you. You're not going to be perfect out of the gate. If you expect yourself to be perfect, you're going to be highly disappointed. You are going to maybe even make spelling mistakes, or you may say something garbled or use incorrect grammar as you're doing your video, and that's okay. No one's really going to care. They're going to be looking at how brave you are. They're going to be listening for how good your information is. And if you come out with really good tips on how people can help themselves, and you are generous with that, and you're willing to help, you're willing to share your knowledge, and you do it for 90 days, just to get started. You have to keep going after that, but do it for those 90 days and consistently show up. What's going to happen is you're going to start seeing your personal brand return you dividends. You're going to see that you're getting the exposure that you want, which turns into the sales that you want, which turns into the impact that you want. But you have to put in the time. You have to be putting in the time, 4 videos per month, 6 other pieces of content per month, and be generous with that. And you're going to get scared. This little black hole is really scary for most people. And so get used to the fact that it is going to be hard on your ego. You're going to feel like you're messing everything up. You're going to feel like it's damn hard, and it is. But if you can consistently keep showing up and keep trying and keep being generous, you will get there. So if you're ready to get your personal brand launched and really understand the mindset behind it, understand how much grit you have to be able to turn your personal brand into something that is going to create impact, that is going to create sales, that is going to create exposure, join the next Pivot to Profitable Entrepreneurship Challenge. I'll see you all there.